Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Fox 10 Phoenix did an interview with Travis Walton. I don't know if you guys remember Travis Walton. His is an older case from about 50 years ago. Him and a bunch of his friends used to work in like in the woods, chopping down trees. And they saw a UFO, and Travis had gotten abducted. I don't know if you guys remember this as well, but they also made a movie about it back in the 1980s. I believe it was called Fire in the Sky. I want to say it was Paul Rudd that was the actor that played Travis, if my memory serves me correctly. But anyways, Fox here did an interview with him 50 years later, and see what he has to say. Guys, enjoy the video, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and check it out.
Okay, Travis, you think that period where you were out, you were discovered, you came back walking along a road near Heber, right near Heber, 5 nights after you were allegedly abducted. What do you recall about coming to?
Well, I just woke up, still had some residual pain and, grogginess, but there was a light above me. I was lying on the cold pavement, and I looked to see where the light was coming from. And just as I looked in that direction, it went off. So I don't know whether they had a light shining on me that was turned off, or the door closed or something. But it was just for a brief instant that I saw it there hovering, and then it shot straight up into the sky, silently this time.
Travis, would you could
the craft in the woods was making some very bizarre sound.
Yeah, I've read that account, that it was a humming and then high pitched, kind of on both ends of the spectrum, high and low, like a rumble. Yeah. How large was this craft?
Not big, 20, 25 feet in diameter, maybe bigger. It's nothing to judge by.
And there were 2 beings on there that had alien form, but there was another that was more human, as you describe it.
Yeah, I think that perhaps my lack of cooperation, they got the idea to have something look more human looking to, gain my confidence, because I wasn't about to cooperate with these, what I took to be monsters. And so I did cooperate with the human-looking being and others like him. Now, I don't know whether they somehow are in association with beings that looked human, or were able to simulate that appearance, or even had some relationship with some Earth-based agency. But I was only too eager to go along with them.
Travis, it's been 50 years. Whatever happened to you that you think happened to you, that you claim happened to you, have you suffered any ill health effects in those intervening years?
Well, I was certainly very anxious about that possibility, but it turned out to be quite the opposite. For, like 20 years, I didn't call in sick to work a single time. And I was working like 12 hours a day just to sort of shut out the memory.
Travis, what have you been doing in those years since? You were on that logging crew when you were 22 years old. After all this broke, how did you continue your life as you knew it?
Well, I made myself go back to work in the woods, to face it. I took, my wife with me and weapons, but I built up the courage to where I could go back again. And then eventually I just went to work here at the local paper mill.
So that's what you've been doing in the years since. This never escapes you, though. This is your story. This will be the first line someday, sadly, in your obituary. I mean, it's the most documented that I can think of alleged alien abduction.
Yeah, and 6 other men standing by that story. At least that's the status today. It happened, and by every measure that you could judge by.
Would you say that you were a believer in extraterrestrials or UFOs before this all happened?
Yeah, I think everybody's heard of it before and thought, yeah, that could be.
There's been this story that just a few weeks before this all happened, that NBC aired a primetime UFO special, a made-for-TV movie, about an alleged alien abduction, and that some have speculated that that might have given you the idea to concoct a story. What would you say to those people?
Well, that's just a coincidence. And if you're grasping at straws, if you're looking for some way to justify a disbelief, you'll find it.
And you can understand why people will try to discredit the story, because to believe it raises such profound questions about us, the universe, religion, everything.
Yes, but I would counter with the challenge: are you entering the proposition knowing that there are trillions upon trillions of stars, just like our sun, out there with planets going around them? And now astronomers conclude that probably every star has about a dozen planets. And all of those are empty except ours. And we're alone in the universe, and nothing like this has ever occurred anywhere else. That's the challenge I'm asking. That's the preposterous claim
that's
that
a
would
bold
have to
claim,
be
right?
made. Is that what you're saying? That we are alone in this vast, vast universe?
Travis, on that point, I have to completely concur. I agree with you. I think that we become a little self-absorbed and think that we're it, and I'm not sure we've got that right. Back to what happened to you. Take me back to when you finally came to and you're wandering a road in Heber. The craft is taken off above you. What are your first thoughts, and are you even thinking clearly at that point?
Well, I've just my first thought was to just get help, to find a phone and call my family,
And you did.
and they did.
It seems that everybody, there were search parties for you for 5 days. They were looking for you frantically. They found no signs of any kind of scarring in the woods where this allegedly happened. They're thinking if there was this kind of craft, it would have done some damage, some disturbance to that clearing in the forest where it happened. They didn't find anything.
Actually, there was no, things blown apart like lightning or, caught fire. They did find traces of magnetism, an unusual disturbance, and also radiation, and even evidence in the effects on the trees. Trees that had rapidly increased thickness of growth rings. The tree will produce one ring for each year, regardless of conditions, but it's thicker or thinner based on a variety of factors. And the trees surrounding where the object hovered show rapid growth for a number of years, a burst of growth.
Interesting.
And later, another researcher discovered that after the Chernobyl nuclear accident, they found similar surge in thickening rings around the pine trees around that location. Now, in there, the radiation was not at a central source; it was, dispersed. So the tree rings were concentric around the diameter of the tree, but the effect is kind of paradoxical. You would think, well, wouldn't radiation kill living things? Why would it stimulate this reaction? But, the scientific research, these are papers that are been published in scientific journals, confirm that's the effect that happened at Chernobyl too.
Travis, when you were found, there were people trying to get you to take a polygraph originally. Did you ever take one?
Well, there were some amateurs, and I was so full of.
I remember this, and I think if my memory serves me correctly, and we'll find out here pretty soon, that he had taken a few different polygraphs, and I believe he passed them all. Not that polygraphs are 100%, but passed.
Stress at every mention of it. But I did take tests from the same state police polygraph examiner that tested the crew, and another examiner who did testing for the CIA and the government agencies, and I passed all 5 of them. So.
They keep reporting on this UFO group and the Inquirer doing this Jack McCarthy, a polygrapher, freelance polygrapher. I don't even know what that means. He claims now that McCarthy concluded that Travis was engaged in a gross deception and had even been intentionally holding his breath in an attempt to beat the machine.
Erratic responses were just due to stress, and these claims are desperate. You can looking for a way to justify a preformed conclusion.
Travis, do you think that now, because the government is starting to open the books a little bit, I won't say a lot, on what's been happening in our skies for quite some time, are people more receptive to your story than before? Or is it the same degree of skepticism no matter when you encounter it?
Much higher degree of acceptance going on right now. But generally, people would feel kind of foolish to claim that we're alone in the universe. Maybe it's just a growing awareness of the true nature of our life here on this planet.
I think there's such a leap. I think that the conundrum is it's such a leap from, are we alone? Have we possibly been visited? To, I know a guy who was not only saw this, but was taken aboard their craft. That is a whole nother level that some people, I'm not sure they can wrap their brain around it.
Well, it is, does require an examination of the evidence. And that's what I've said over and over again over the years.
All right, guys, so that's not the whole video. This video is quite long. It's about 30 minutes long. So I want to have it linked in the description down below. I wanted to bring this to your guys' attention in case you guys haven't seen it, or if maybe you guys don't know Travis's story, his backstory. It's quite interesting. There's been a lot of skeptics on his story over the years, but I do like Travis Walton, and there does seem to be some interesting things on his experience. So what I would recommend for you guys is for you guys to go watch the movie Fire in the Sky if you haven't seen it. It's actually a decent movie. And check it out, and let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys believe Travis Walton, or think just throwing stuff out there just to throw stuff out there? Anyways, you guys, leave some comments down below. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, all that other stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.